it is what it is with Drew. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into recording mode, guys. Thank you for listening, and away we go. Welcome to Cheap Seats Baseball and Beer, our 5th podcast coming in today. Hello, Drew's waving his hand.
No, that's number 5, bro.
Oh, that's number 5? Oh, that wasn't a wave. That wasn't a wave. Anyway, guys, as I said in the earlier podcast, in podcast number 4, we are recording this consecutively with our 4th. You will not listen to it until a week after the 4th one comes out, but it doesn't matter because this one's going to be just as good, if not better, because that's our goal. Anyway, so...
Because we have a few beer in us already, guys.
Because we have a few beers in us already, and that's fantastic. Drew, let me know, what are we doing today, man? What beer are we drinking?
So first off, let's actually go through the wheel of baseball.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Vlad's getting ahead of
himself. I'm so bad at this. Guys, okay.
So today's episode...
What are we doing?
Numero 5. Is we're getting into the wheel of baseball. It's 6 different categories that we will be talking about. This has something to do with baseball. They all have something to do with baseball, but we're not previewing teams. We're not talking about anything like that. We're talking about, 1, why the Cubs suck. That will be Vlad's discussion. Mm-hmm. Why the Sox suck. That will be my discussion. Mm-hmm. Which Game of Thrones characters would be the best baseball player? Because everyone watches Game of Thrones. If you don't watch Game of Thrones...
Get the hell on it.
Go watch Game of Thrones.
Get the hell on it.
So, that's both of our discussions. Favorite baseball memory, that would be both discussions. And that is not an MLB memory. It could possibly be an MLB memory, but most likely this is a personal thing. Maybe from when we played, maybe something of that nature. Top 3 baseball players of all time. This is our personal top 3 baseball players of all time. This is not... the best 3 ever. Okay, I did not get to see Babe Ruth in real life. If I did, I look really good for my age. But this is not that. Okay, what are you watching right now? It's on Netflix, on Hulu, Amazon Prime. If you're watching, like we said, if you're watching the Olympic trials, Vlad, everybody can watch the Olympic trials.
And we're adding in a great new segment, guys. It's the Hot Corner segment, right, Drew? Where we are finally getting to have our wives chime in, let their opinions be known today.
One wife,
right. The Hot Corner will only include one, and that's Drew's wife, Adriana. She will be reviewing the beer with us.
She put a ring on it.
Yeah, she put a ring on it. Exactly. It's he knows what's up. And, she's going to be reviewing the new beers with us, which brings me to the point, Drew. Wait, first of all, no. Before we get to the beer, guys, do not forget, subscribe on Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIns, Google Play. Go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Sign up, check us out. Let us know what you think.
cheapseatpodcast.libsyn.com.
LIBSYN. Don't forget to rate us, subscribe, do your thing. Let us know what you think. Give us comments. Let us improve ourselves. We obviously want to make this accessible to all of you guys.
And if you guys have listened to us before, spread the word, guys.
Yeah.
I would love for you to just say, hey, go reach out to your friends, put it on your Facebook. Hey, these guys are pretty cool to listen to. Yeah. Go give them a shout out, listen to them, download them. Everyone's a baseball fan. I found I'm not mistaken. Everyone should be a baseball fan.
Oof.
But
a little imposing.
Whatever. Fair enough. This is our sport.
Drew, what beer are we drinking today, man?
Maui Brewing Company Bikini Blonde. This has nothing to do with baseball or with the regions that we're talking about.
Nope.
This is something that actually my wife picked out. She said it looked cool.
Yep.
So she picked it. So we're drinking.
All right, let's open these babies up. All right.
I got to pour.
He's got to pour. Sad though. Today's a little bit different. We're deviating a little bit, mostly because we realize that we want to have some fun. We don't want you guys to. I mean, baseball is fun as heck, obviously, but we want you guys to just kind of get to know us, kind of have fun with us, and hopefully, if you guys start interacting with us, we get to kind of play this game with y'all. You guys can kind of comment on the videos, comment on the podcast themselves. Let us know what you think about these baseball wheel topics. Yep. We're going to be doing this, like once a month?
Maybe once a month, yeah, absolutely.
Once a month, we'll be doing these segments. This will be like our fun little segue podcast to let you guys interact with us, have fun with us. Yeah. Anyway, we're about to go ahead and jump into this. First of all, cheers.
Cheers from the cheap seats, guys.
Cheers from the cheap seats, guys. Let's take our first sip of this Maui beer. Okay.
Fruity.
That's different. Anyway, so first topic. I'll let you
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, I'll let you take the lead unless it's obviously why the Cubs or the Sox.
Spin the wheel.
Let's go. Ooh.
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
Wow. You got lucky.
The first topic, why the Cubs suck. So before I begin this, the entire point of this isn't to say why the Cubs sucked last year or statistically why they suck. This is just opinion-based, going in a tirade type of thing. So I'm not going to go ahead and say anything, statistically speaking. It's just from personal experience. Why the Cubs suck, Vlad version. And Drew, if you disagree, which you won't because they suck, let me know. Anyway, here's why the Cubs suck. I moved to America in 1995, late 1995, and the first two teams I ever watched were the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox. Actually, the first team I ever got to see, the first game I ever watched baseball-wise was the White Sox when they had Albert Bell. Anyway, I used to actually watch both teams. I used to like Sammy Sosa before I found out he was juicing his ass. And, I used Mark Grace. They were all great. Tommy Glavine, et cetera, et cetera. I really enjoyed watching them play. But there's this thing that happened in Chicago in 2003 when the Cubs almost made the World Series. They had Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood, Mark Clemens, Carlos Zambrano, and that pitching staff. I'm sure Drew cried his pants off because, Drew's a wussy. And they were supposed to make it. They were supposed to make the World Series, and they were the kings of the Central and, everything. They were a team of destiny, and that they were right before, on the cusp of winning, before the Red Sox took their helm of teams with like a curse on them to finally win a World Series, and they didn't. They choked. But what happened in my high school, in every high school or every school in every place in Chicago, the Cubs all of a sudden got thousands of fans, millions of fans actually, out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, people who never watched baseball before were starting to speak baseball to a person who knows baseball inside and out and who loved the game religiously. And they were talking to me like they were the biggest baseball fans I've ever seen.
Wait, hold on.
So, no. Why do the Cubs suck? Because out of all teams that I've ever seen before, and I'm sure there are baseball fans who are all, bandwagon fans who jump on the bandwagon inevitably. But I have never seen a team full of fans who just keep on adding them and who have no real identity outside of the fact that they're just a tourist destination for people to go to watch a game and get messed up in. Like, you go to a baseball game at Wrigley Field, what are you going to watch? You're not going to watch baseball. You're going to go to the bleacher seats. You're going to go sit with the bleacher bums. You're going to go drink a bunch of old styles and you're going to be like, oh yeah, baseball. No, not baseball. It's going to be about the freaking alcohol. And that's the problem. There's no love of the game at a Cubs game. There's just love of the drink. And that's why the Cubs suck, because it's not about baseball with the Cubs. It's about the alcohol, it's about the party, and more importantly, it's about the bandwagon. There are not that many true Cubs fans. We have Drew over here, Uncle Drew, who, he's one in a million who loves the Cubs, but just because he loves the Cubs doesn't mean there are others like him. Look.
There's been other fans. There's been a lot of fans of the Cubs. Mm. But go ahead, keep on going.
Yeah. Oh, and then the whole shtick too. They have So like any team that has this, right? Like every team has these celebrity people that come and watch the games. And you're like, oh my god, they love the Cubs, such big fans. They love the Dodgers, such big fans. Even the White Sox have these people. But why the hell do we care about them? And I feel like that's like you have these really old shticks with teams like this. Like the Cubs have this stupid seventh inning stretch. Like who cares? Okay, get over yourself. And then the Go Cubs Go theme song. One of the most annoying theme songs in all of baseball. If you guys have ever heard that theme song, it literally is one theme song that will make you want to throw yourself off the top of the roof. It is
Go Cubs Go.
So you see?
Go Cubs.
Yeah. Hey Chicago. And that's the thing. It's irritating. It's annoying. It sounds horrible. And it would be only the Cubs that would take that song and make it their own because they're horrible, horrific garbage, and that's what they would do. And again, it goes into the culture of why the Cubs suck. And there's a whole bunch of other reasons, guys. I could go into a bunch of stuff. Outside of the fact that if you're from Chicago, there's literally no more insufferable of a fan base than the Chicago Cubs. See, Drew won't get this because Drew is a Cubs fan, but he got the fortune of being a Cubs fan outside of the state. So he's a normal Cubs fan, man. I talked to him. He's like, I'm a Cubs fan. I like the Cubs. Yeah, they're cool. But he's not annoying with it. Any other one else, if I go to Chicago, I'm going to be like, bro, the Cubs, best team ever. Love the Cubs. Started watching them yesterday. Love them, though. Have watched them since 40 years ago. And you're like, bro, you're 5 years old. But that's how it is in Chicago. Drew, you got any opinions about how much I hate the Cubs or why the Cubs suck? What?
Nah, bro, you're just talking crap.
Oh. These are fighting words, man. Fighting words.
What up, dude? There's a lot of fans of Chicago Cubs people. There's a lot of fans outside of the state, just like me, that are Cubs fans, bro. And they've been Cubs fans for a long time. Maybe within the city.
I take solace in the fact that finally, since you guys have finally won that stupid World Series and you've gotten that out of the way, people can start looking at the Cubs and stop calling them lovable losers and start taking them seriously. So that way they can be like, wow, the Cubs are freaking insufferable. They do have an annoying... You know, it's kind of like what happened with the Red Sox. Everyone were like, ooh, the Red Sox are the media darlings. Everyone loves the Red Sox. And then they won that World Series. And everyone was like, nah, they're kind of trash. I hate their fans. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's happening with the Cubs. Makes me really happy. This is why the Cubs suck. 100% guaranteed. You're a White Sox fan or any other fan of any baseball team, I guarantee you have similar reason. But if you have different ones...
I'm glad you went first on this one.
Because I went to town, bro.
Go ahead. Next topic.
All right, next topic, guys. All right, let's go. Let's spin the wheel. Okay, this is a good one. What are we watching right now?
Drew. All right, so I'll take this. What are we watching right now?
What are you watching?
I am watching, and I'll let you know what we're watching. It is on Hulu.
Okay.
I am watching, well, my wife and I are watching, I should say. Mm-hmm. The entire X-Files is what we're watching.
What?
Yeah, dude. Never seen the X-Files? Do you even know what the X-Files is?
Yeah, man. That's like that alien show. Wait,
yeah.
But like old school X-Files?
Old school. It is very old school. It is very old school.
Didn't they create a new... Didn't they come out with a new
season? So they created the new season last year, and the new one just started, but we haven't watched those yet. We're catching up with them.
Okay.
Because I never saw it. I only saw sporadic X-Files when I was younger. Mm-hmm. They did creep the hell out of me at some point.
Yeah, because it's the theme music.
Yeah, the theme music gets
man,
you.
Freaking got you, dude.
I don't know how it goes. I mean, maybe I can incorporate that here in a little bit, but
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're watching the X-Files right now. It's now you look back on it, and this happened back in the early 90s, 92, 93, 4 maybe. Cinematography sucks, and like it really shows you how far we've come in that type of technology. Like, it's kind of scary when you think about it. Like, it is really creepy. The shows is great to watch. The shows are fantastic. I recommend, if you've never seen the X-Files, or if maybe you have, go rewatch them. It is a tremendous show to watch. But don't be scared, because it is very like grainy. It's very 90s style. Their clothes, I mean, granted, I don't know, 10 years from now, we'll probably be looking back and saying, oh, what the hell were we wearing back in 2017, 2018? But I look back and I'm like, what the hell were they wearing in 1994? Like, it's stuff like that. So that is what I'm watching right now. What are you watching?
All right, well, I'm actually kind of running on reruns right now because I'm pretty sure I've watched myself out of shows at the moment.
You watch a lot of TV.
I do. I watch a lot of shows. That's the problem. And Netflix makes everything so easily available that it kind of makes things unfair for me.
Yeah.
Because I can cycle through whatever I want. For instance, huge fan of Breaking Bad. 2 weeks ago, for the 7th time in my life.
Not a fan.
Okay, just get out of here. No one cares what you think about Breaking Bad.
And if you're about to say Sons of Anarchy too, I'm not a fan of that one either.
I wasn't about to say Sons of Anarchy. Cool. Who the hell was going to say anything about Sons of Anarchy?
A lot of people say a lot about Sons of Anarchy.
Very nice for them. That's not what I was about to say. Anyway, so watch Breaking Bad for the 7th time in a row in its entirety from beginning to finish.
How many times?
7th time.
Oh my god.
It's the best show on earth, man. I know you don't agree with me, but again, no one cares about Drew's opinion. Watched it on Netflix 2 weeks ago when I was with my wife in Corpus Christi because she was on her own rotation over there. And then I came back, and now we've been rewatching Master of None. My wife's never seen it, and I've seen it now for the second time, the show with Aziz Ansari. It's actually really funny, really great show. Really, I love it. I think next, once we finish this thing up, probably going to jump back into Game of Thrones because I like Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones is my addictive show. And I'm pretty sure I've watched Game of Thrones in its entirety about 3 times now.
We have not. We haven't gotten back into Game of Thrones. I mean, we have watched everything up until the last season, definitely.
We watched it together.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And we probably will start watching that. I think our wives talked about that they want to start watching it together, like as a
Game of Thrones party,
Game of Thrones party nights type stuff. Yeah. That is something definitely. But that's not the one I'm watching. We just got finished. Did you ever finish watching Dark?
Yeah, no, it's a great show. Azara didn't though.
No,
because Azara didn't have the patience for it.
For reading all the subtitles.
Yeah, she didn't like that.
So let me give you. Dark is a damn good show on Netflix.
Suspenseful as heck.
Very suspenseful. Yeah. Go watch it, but you have to have the patience and you have to be able to sit through it because it is a German TV. Is it a German show? And you have to read nothing but subtitles. But man, is it good? Go watch Dark. If you can sit down and read subtitles and be okay with reading for an hour, it is good. Go watch it.
Oh, yeah. And no, I definitely agree with that recommendation. Another thing that I'm watching, soccer. But that's just a thing. When there's no baseball, the other thing I'm watching is soccer. Obviously, the NFL playoffs are happening right now, too. So when they're on, I'm going to catch a glimpse of the game. Though I'm more of a highlight watching at the moment because obviously we're podcasting through the time frame. Pretty sure did the Falcons lose? I think they did. They were down by 5 with 48 seconds left.
I'll check here right now. Keep going.
But yeah, so I'm paying attention to my English soccer team, which is Arsenal FC. And of course, like all things, Drew and I are just opposite. He's a fan of Arsenal's biggest rival, which is Tottenham Hotspurs, which unfortunately is doing better than Arsenal FC this year. But anyway,
Arsenal sucks.
Yeah, whatever. They've been trashed their entire.
Hey, it's not that. I mean, your brother-in-law though.
Yeah, Manchester City. It's a rough time over there. He's winning everything. Oh, they lost 10-15.
Falcons lost. I can't believe
that. The Eagles won without their starting
QB. Eagles won. I can't believe that. But whatever. Okay.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, guys. So that's what we were watching right now. And what do we have next? Ooh, I like this.
You take this one.
Top 3 baseball players of all time. All right, so I'm gonna go first then.
Go ahead.
This is obviously an opinion-based question, guys. This has nothing to do with statistics or numbers. This is just what we've seen throughout our time watching the game, and basically our 3 favorite baseball players of all time. So to start up,
are you starting 3-1? Is that what we're doing? 3-1, 1-3?
Nah, it doesn't matter. You don't have to name them. Okay. You don't have to name them in order. I mean, if you want to do it that way, go ahead. I'm just gonna pop them off.
Okay.
1-3. So my first love as a fan of baseball, and this is not even close, is Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. He's a White Sox, basically a White Sox. No, he is a White Sox legend.
He's
not
a
basically.
White Sox legend.
Yeah, he's a legend of White Sox baseball, and there's a reason why. If you grew up in the 90s and you watched White Sox baseball, early 2000s to the middle 2000s even, you got to see a person who, A, wasn't mired in steroids controversy like everybody else, was built like a tank, absolutely looked like a tank. If there was a guy you would put money that would be on steroids, probably Frank Thomas would be on that list. But never, ever got accused of it, never, ever got caught with it because he never did it. And he was a monster. Could hit for power, average, RBIs, everything you wanted. He was the overall great player. A little bit weak on the defensive side. Obviously, he wasn't the best first baseman, especially towards the end of his career. But he had it all. I mean, he embodied what... If you're a White Sox fan, there's kind of the stigma with the White Sox. It's kind of like the hardworking, we're kind of the put your head down underdog type baseball fans. And Frank Thomas kind of embodied that. And if you were a young guy growing up watching him play, I think he kind of gave you that feeling of like satisfaction as a White Sox fan. So there's a reason why he was my favorite baseball player of all time. And then
if I had top 5, you would be there. If we're doing top 5,
yeah.
Frank Thomas would be there.
That's fair. And I think that's a really good call, honestly, if you were to go him top 5.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming you. This is like more of a personal perspective, so obviously there's really a small chance that he would be on anyone else's. Actually, let me give you guys a kind of a conciliation. Somebody that when I was younger would have definitely made this list had he not messed up as much as he did, or had I not found out about steroid use, it definitely would have been Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa, when I was younger, even though I was not a Cubs fan, I still watched the Cubs because of him. Because when you watch Sammy Sosa play, you always expected the big bomb. And he was way more exciting. I mean, I'm sure Cardinals fans would tell you Mark McGwire back then, the steroid era, whatever, he was the one to watch. But in reality, I remember watching the crow hop, the peace signs to his mom, everything he did. Sammy Sosa was like a character. He built this image around himself, and I love watching him play. And honestly, I wish he didn't take steroids because I would have loved to include him on this list. He embodied Chicago baseball for me for a long time until we found out that he was taking the juice.
One of my guys is in the steroids discussion, so I'm just letting you know.
Oh no, that's fine. That's personal. That's a personal choice.
Personal choice.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, so moving back, I have two more guys. My second favorite guy of all time is Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero, why is he a legend in my opinion? Because the man swung at everything. High, low, outside, inside, didn't matter. And he did it successfully.
The guy did not have a bad...
No, a bad...
Like, you could not pitch to this guy.
No, he was absolutely the worst guy anybody could face if you're a pitcher. And I enjoyed watching him play because even when we faced him and I dreaded, our pitchers pitching to him, it was still incredible to see somebody who did not care where the ball was thrown. No. Because it's so rare, especially nowadays, that you have free swingers like Vladimir Guerrero. I mean, his son in the Blue Jay system, very similar to him, which is kind of crazy. I'm excited to see him come up now because I really think that we may finally get to see like the second coming of Vladimir Guerrero.
Was number 2 prospect in the MLB.
Yep, and deservedly so. That guy is going to be a monster. Yeah, he's gonna be a really good baseball. He may, and this is saying something because his dad's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he may be better.
He is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll make it this year. I think
but he will be inevitably. But he may be better than his father, and that's saying something.
So.
That's saying something because his dad was an incredible baseball player. Cannon for an arm. Do you remember his arm?
I remember his arm.
One of the best baseball arms you can have in baseball. So yeah, that would be he would be my second best. Rounding up my third favorite baseball player. A slight segue before I go in. Funny enough, had I actually never hated the Cubs, Mark Prior would have been one of my most favorite, and had he never gotten as injured as he did, Mark Prior would have been one of my most favorite baseball players of all time. He was. Nice. Can I say something about him? In a non-biased standpoint and non-hated level, that guy, if he never got injured, he reminds me of Derrick Rose. He would have been one of the greatest of all time. He had all the talent, man. That guy was so talented. It kind of sucks that what happened to him.
Derrick Rose basketball player is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like that equivalence where probably the most talented of his era, or one of the most talented of his era, but unfortunately just injuries derailed him. Mark Prior is one of those people. So he's kind of got another one of those people that kind of got my second best. I wish he was on the list, but he never came on because he just got injured too much. A White Sox player, top 3, Mr. Consistency, Mark Buehrle. Guy who will never get the recognition he deserves through a perfect game, a no-hitter. Why is he my third favorite baseball player of all time? He threw in the 80s, but what did he do? Located all the time. He knew how to hit his spots. He, in a way, kind of like Greg Maddux, except Greg Maddux had such filthy pitches that if he's not in your top 3, by the way, go screw yourself. Greg Maddux is incredible. But yeah, it's just overall consistency. Mark Buehrle he could hit his spots at all times. Even in 88, he would confuse baseball players. Change-ups, nice little slide piece. Everything was always exactly where the catcher wanted it, and that's why he was able to have a no-hitter and a perfect game in his career, and that's a rarity. And he won't make the Hall of Fame, and probably he deserves not to, because if you're looking at raw numbers, it doesn't really add up with the greatest baseball players of all time, with the greatest pitchers of all time, the Nolan Ryans, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, another player that should be top 3, but I never got to see him play, so I can't say anything about him. But Mark Buehrle, it reminds me a little bit, if you guys listen to our last podcast, if you were to say in baseball, a Joey Votto, a person who people do not appreciate while he's playing, and then 10 years from now we'll look at his numbers and be like, whoa, this guy, he was really good. So that Mark Buehrle definitely rounds out my final 3, and obviously I have 2 White Sox players in my top 3, and again, I'm a White Sox fan, so I have that little bias. Drew, what you got for your top 3?
All right, so for my top 3, this was one of the hardest subjects that I had to actually look at when I really considered, because I do love a lot of players. My number 3, and let me say this. I'm going to say a couple of number players for number 3, because these were guys that I always loved, and it's really hard to say, name one person.
Right.
So one of them is a steroids guy.
Okay.
In Barry Bonds.
Ooh. Okay.
The guy had one of the sweetest swings ever.
Absolutely.
The guy is hit for power.
Yep.
The guy was a tremendous outfielder in his younger days. just an all around beast.
Would have made the Hall of Fame had he never taken steroids.
Absolutely,
he was that talented.
Absolutely, yeah. But here's the thing, and that's the thing that I think it was a mistake on his part. I mean, of course, you never want to say, yes, I took steroids, but at the same part, I think what people don't realize is without steroids, the dude was still a beast.
Yeah,
the dude was still amazing. The guy may have still broken the home run record. Mm-hmm. The guy was still a defensive beast. He could have gone down as one of the best players ever.
Yeah,
probably if not the best, because he's still considered, if I'm not mistaken, according to some things I've seen, he's still like number 3 or number 4 all-time great players. Mm-hmm. But he's one. Second one, Frank Thomas. If I had to choose, Frank Thomas was a beast. I love Frank Thomas.
My boy.
As growing up in baseball, I was always bigger than some of the kids that played baseball with me.
The Big Hurt.
So they actually did call me the Big Hurt.
Yeah.
So I loved Frank Thomas. I absolutely loved him. Dude was a beast. Not only was he a great guy, he was a great baseball player. And that's unbiased from me. I mean, as a Cubs fan, yes, I'm sure in the city, Cubs and White Sox fans don't like each other. But outside the city, outside the state, like... They're not my biggest. Right.
You're kind of able to keep an even keel.
Yes.
Because you don't need to look at us as being like...
Because to me, my most hated team as a fan is the St. Louis Cardinals.
Which makes sense.
So it's not the White Sox. It's just you're fighting for it's almost like you're fighting for territory in Chicago, which something that definitely looks at. My fourth one, Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh
man, he was one of the sweetest players to look at, to watch. The dude had, I mean, some logos are drafted over this guy. Yep. I mean, this guy has one of the purest, sweetest swings.
I think he is. He does have the sweetest swing of all time.
Of all time. I mean,
Absolutely.
The guy is a beast. The guy is... Love the guy. I mean, he was also marred by injuries a lot, which he could have gone down one of the greats.
When he went to the Reds, that's when
absolutely. I mean, when he was on that Seattle team, if you don't really know baseball, if you don't follow baseball, that Seattle team that he was on was stacked. A-Rod, Randy Johnson,
man.
Harold Reynolds.
Yeah,
I mean, those guys were stacked.
Yeah.
Those are my top 3.
Okay.
Second one. This is a tie, and I hate to say this. Craig Biggio from the Astros.
Wow.
And Edgar Martinez.
Wow.
So you're talking about just guys that love the game, man. These guys love the game. These guys played their hearts out. These guys did anything. I mean, these guys could do anything for you. Hit, run, field. Biggio's, they're both Hall of Famers in my opinion. Absolutely both Hall of Famers in my opinion. And if I had to throw in I'm sorry, I mean, I know we're talking top 3, but I'm talking some of my favorite players of all time. I could throw Omar Vizquel in that same category. I love those guys.
Defensive genius.
I mean, they're smaller guys, and I'm a big guy. I mean, these guys are... I love the smaller guys in baseball.
Yeah.
Altuve, one of my favorites now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love the smaller guys in baseball because they give you so much passion.
But you can't...
They give you so much heart.
You can't add Altuve right now.
You can't. No, I'm not saying
right now. No, he's going to be one of the greatest.
He's going to be one, but...
No one's saying
they give you so much heart. They give you so much effort. They put in 150%.
Yeah.
And I love those guys.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love those guys. My number 1, Cal Ripken Jr. I modeled my baseball game after Cal Ripken Jr. Oh. I will never. And that's the thing I'm saying. The number 2 and number 3 I added, guys. Cal Ripken Jr. is in my number 1 by himself. Absolutely.
That makes sense. The Iron Man.
The Iron Man.
Yep.
You talk about a defensive genius who played shortstop most of his career. He did, but for the most part, he was a third baseman. In my book, in my head, he was a third baseman. Tremendous player, crazy player. Who goes that many games? Yeah. Who breaks a record that most people thought
was unbreakable?
Yeah. Who called it the most unbreakable record in the MLB?
Yeah,
and he broke it, and I think he surpassed it by what? Couple hundred games?
A lot, yeah.
I mean...
And don't forget that it's not like he only played because I think the threshold, the cutoff was playing 3 innings a game and then they counted it as consecutive. He played full games.
No, he played full games.
The dude went all out.
Yes.
He was...
And the thing about it, he loves the game. And this is something that a lot of people may not know. But the guy owns 3 minor league teams.
Yeah.
He stayed in the game.
Yeah.
Like, he never wanted to be a manager, but he owns the game. He loves the game.
Can I say one guy that I think will be forgotten by many that deserves some recognition from that time, from that era? Chipper Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Chipper Jones.
I love that guy, too.
You know, he was a
He's
great
top 10 for
He
me.
was a great baller, but you just, for some reason, I don't think he'll get recognized by people. But he had it all. Defensively, offensively.
If I can include the entire Braves pitching staff as one person, they would be my top 3.
Yeah.
Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz.
Yeah.
And I love me some John Rocker from friggin'.
But that's not a top.
That's
three.
not a top 3.
That's just a top.
But dude,
all great people like to watch.
That's just people to watch. But
yeah, that dude's freaking crazy, man.
But like Chipper Jones is a great. I love third baseman all the time. That's a position.
Another guy that Adrian Beltre deserves to be in the discussion. That guy's Mr. Consistency.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a long time. Manny Ramirez. If you forget about the steroid use, Manny Ramirez could be part of that too. Anyway, so you ready for our next topic?
Fourth one.
Oh, which Game of Thrones character would be the best baseball player? Drew, you got to start me off, man.
Brienne of Tarth. She's got the size.
Dang.
She's got the swing.
She's got
the hair.
She does know how to drop the hammer. I'm gonna go Appa. I'm gonna go Jamie. Jamie Lannister, bro. Yeah, come on, dude. Jamie Lannister, dude, he's all around. He's like an all around guy. Look, he's a little creepy, doing a lot of creepy stuff. But like outside of that, like if he were to play baseball, like he'd be he's the Kingslayer, man. Like he's the guy who would be swatting up there. You need him as your 3 guy. He's come up there, he's clutch.
He's a Kingslayer that we never saw.
It doesn't matter.
Like we never saw the Kingslayer.
You know he's gonna Kingslay?
It was backstabbing.
Dude, he's gonna Kingslay.
It was backstabbing. That's like the 1918 White Sox.
I was having this discussion because I brought up these topics to my wife, and I was telling her, I was like, we're gonna talk about this, and we were just theorizing, and I told her, Tyrion. Why? Small. Strategically speaking, could get away with a lot of things. How would pitchers pitch to him? Impossible. And he's witty. He's smart. So he probably knows what he needs to do when he needs to do it.
Yeah, you can bring up what's a shapeshifter one? The youngest sister.
Okay, no. But what baseball talent would that equivalent?
Utility player, bro.
Yeah, but that's not the best. We're asking which Game of Thrones character would be the best baseball player of all time, not which one would be the best utility player of all time.
That utility players can go down too.
What?
I'm just saying.
That doesn't make any freaking sense. You're talking about Arya Stark.
Arya Stark.
Okay, actually,
Brienne of Tarth, dude.
My wife said Arya. She said Arya because she's like, she's the most badass woman. So it's gonna be that one. And I was like, okay, that's fair, I guess.
Brienne of Tarth, bro.
Brienne of Tarth. That's a really good choice, though. But
Jamie Lannister is
Whoa, what are you about to say about Jamie? Jamie's my boy. I mean, he's a little creepy, but he's my boy.
To me, I can't say some of the words I'm about to say.
Ooh.
Like, he's a little.
Uh-oh.
He's a. I mean.
Is that pedo bear? No, not pedo boy. Incest bear?
Incest. No, it's not even that. It has nothing to do with baseball. He just seems like he's a big old friggin' crybaby. Is what he seems like.
What the heck? No, he's not, man.
He was, dude.
He's just a family guy.
Everything.
Oh man.
He complains about everything, and then the couple fights that he did win, it was straight freaking. I mean, you were straight freaking like you. I mean, you got help. You killed the head Stark. You killed Ned because you had 4 guys around you.
Wow.
Like that's like
wow.
That's like picking a fight.
Ooh, actually, good call. Would Ned Stark be the GOAT?
I don't know enough about Ned, dude. I don't know enough about.
But he got that one season, and you knew he was the GOAT.
I don't know about Ned. I don't know about Ned.
Dude, you looked at him; he was like all around legit.
I don't know about Ned, dude. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm saying Brienne of Tarth, dude. The size.
But Brienne of Tarth would be like the masher. She wouldn't be the.
And who goes down as some of the best baseball players?
Sure, the mashers, bro. But I'm looking about like all around. Wait, Jon Snow. What do you think about Jon Snow? Would he be a great baseball player?
No.
Wait, how about Targaryen, the Queen of Dragons, man? What? No.
No.
Why not?
Oh my God.
Why not the Queen of Dragons, man? Khaleesi. Why not?
It'll take me a while to think about this, but no, she's not it, bro. I don't see any. Nah. No, I can't think of anything, bro.
I don't know, man. Personally, Okay, Jon Snow.
I can't think of it. And you want to know why I can't think of anything?
Yeah.
Because she's never made a decision on her own.
That's offensive. How do you know that?
She always has these advisors that tell her stuff. Bro.
All the best leaders always listens to the people underneath them, man. That's how it works.
Whatever, dude. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, I get your Brienne of Tarth. I actually think that's a pretty solid selection. I think she'd be a pretty big. But you know who she will be? She'd be Big Frank. She'd be the big hurt.
Absolutely.
That's who Brienne of Tarth is. Absolutely. She's the big hurt. When I'm thinking of like Jamie, you know who Jamie is in my opinion? Jamie is Barry Bonds before steroids. All around good baseball player. He can hit for average, power, speed, etc. But not like excellent in all those things. Just good to great, but not great all around in all those things. It's only when Barry Bonds started taking the juice that he became great. So, Jamie would need to start getting them dragons, start becoming great. He's not gonna get any dragons because
no,
he's not a Targaryen.
Next subject.
Not a Targaryen. Can't get any dragons, guys. All right, on to the next subject.
Good subject.
Dude, can I get a beer, Drew?
Yeah.
Stymie me on these beers. Nope, did that one. Got to do another one. How many more? We have only 2 more topics left, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll make this short and sweet.
Drew.
I will make this short and sweet.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Why?
I had to finish my beer. Why do the Sox suck, Drew? Let's hear this guy's opinion.
Because they're not the Cubs.
Oh, God.
That's why.
That's not an opinion.
That is the opinion because you're in the shadow of the Cubs in Chicago.
Oh my God!
You had one freaking World Series in 2005. You guys had a great team. I'm not gonna lie.
Equivalently speaking, we have the exact same number of World Series as you guys do. So technically, we're from the same crap hole as you guys are.
Crap hole, yes. That's what I'm saying. That's why you're not the Cubs. That's my whole thing.
But we're the same thing.
But you're living in the shadow of the Cubs.
From a fanhood perspective, sure, but no, who cares about fans?
You have great history. Don't get me wrong.
Actually, I should let you rant because you let me rant. So I'm gonna shut up.
I'm already done.
I'm gonna shut up. What? No. That was it?
You want to know? Joke here.
Wow.
What's the difference what's the similarity between a mosquito and the White Sox?
We're better.
They both suck.
Drew spent. I'm almost guaranteeing you spent like 20 minutes. He's like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop why do the mosquitoes suck? Oh, that's Drew. You think he's funny?
Oh yeah. I'm done, dude. They're not the Cubs.
Are you serious?
They're not the Cubs. I have no. I mean,
that's the dumbest one, man. Just ruined a segment. I'm not doing these segments.
You can make that segment all you want.
Whatever, bro. This is the horror.
You're not the Cubs.
Okay, whatever, man. All right, so
you could have won that segment if you said you're not the White Sox, but there's nothing to say.
Okay, we're gonna have to respin this because we already done this one. Oh, keeps on landing on the same one.
Dude, you don't need to spin it. We only have one thing.
Oh, left. What's the last one?
The memories, the baseball memories.
Oh yeah, good. Dude, I forgot to do one topic actually. I really wanted to talk about the mess that's free agency baseball right now, but I guess we could do that.
We can always have that. We still have some time.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about memories though.
Yeah, memories. Drew, what is your favorite baseball memory? And don't forget, this doesn't have to be from a baseball game. From like your personal childhood, high school, whatever it is that you enjoyed the most. What do you remember the most? What's your favorite memory?
So, what I remember the most, my favorite memory of baseball was me playing. I was in 6th grade, middle school. Mm-hmm. Only 6th grader to make they had A and B baseball teams back in the day. I mean, I don't know if they still do or not, but I made the upper level A team in baseball, playing with nothing but 7th and 8th graders. So, first game of the season, couldn't tell you what team we're playing, couldn't tell you any of that stuff. But, first game of the season, bottom of the 9th, tie game, walk up to bat, and there's a player on second, I know that, one of my teammates is on second, and they pitch me. The dude throws a base. I mean, we're in 6th grade, so he's not throwing anything nasty. He threw me a fastball straight down the middle, jacked it. 20 yards past the fence. Home run. End the game.
Was that your first home run ever?
Yes. In a major, I mean, prior 6th grade, yes. I don't think I ever had one when I was in little leagues. I don't remember, no. But walk off. First at bat.
I think I just used your handkerchiefs.
That's fine.
Oh, sorry, man.
First at bat in 6th grade, 18. That game moved me up to... I was a 6th grader, and I was cleanup hitter for the rest of the year. No. I had 6 home runs the rest of that year. Yeah. Mostly batted all the time. Never struck out that season. Ever. I remember that. But that one game I remember. Walk-off home run.
For the non-initiated, Drew was actually a pretty good baseball player back in the day. He just had a bunch of baseball injuries. I think you had, some knee injuries or something?
The knee injuries is what crazy.
So that kind of stymied him a little bit, but he used to play ball.
I played ball a lot, and I'm thinking what I was telling you, prior to this one, maybe there's one day we can get a video out there where we can go to the batting cages or freaking the tee or something like that. Why the hell
would I want to be included in that?
Come on, dude. You used to play baseball too?
Yeah, I used to pitch. I didn't hit the ball, man.
Well, that's your fault.
I was like a DH. Come on, man. Not a DH. I was a 9-hitter. I couldn't hit. I could pitch. I could pitch to you if you want. I'd probably hit you a couple times because I had no control.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Should get him in.
But that was my best memory in baseball, was that walk-off home run. And it led to a great short-lived baseball career. I wish it would have lasted a little longer, but it led to a great career. And I had fun that game. It was great. That's the best one. I don't know. What's yours?
I think you're kind of sharing the same sentiment that anybody who's ever played the game. You kind of, when you leave it, you kind of miss it for the rest of your life. Even when you're in your 40s, 50s, I have a feeling we're always gonna. A part of us is always gonna want to play the game.
Yeah.
And even now, when I moved to San Antonio, I remember I joined a league here because, I hadn't played baseball seriously or competitively since high school, and I just wanted to play it because I guess there's a part of you that always wants to dream like a child when you play the game of baseball. There's something about baseball that's very, romantic almost, because it reminds you of your childhood. It reminds you about dreaming. So I agree with you. My favorite baseball memory comes from basically, actually kind of in the same idea from when I was younger, but from the first baseball game that I ever got to pitch in, because when I played my first league, first team, I was part of a little league team, the Colorado Rockies, in Chicago, and I started out as a third baseman, and I got a couple grounders. And I had a good arm, and then so the coach was like, "Hey, why don't you try pitching?" And back then, when you're in the little league, they only let you pitch 2 innings, 3 innings max. And I remember because if you had a good game, coaches would always give you the game ball. And one of my memories was the first time I ever went to pitch. I threw 3 innings. I gave up no hits. I struck out 4 guys, something like that, and no runs, and I got the game ball. That was one of those memories that if I were to give it that team, that was actually we went to the World Series of Little League. I guess I was 10 years old, and we lost. And this how bad it was of a moment. But this is the thing when you're a kid, you go through these things.
Yeah.
I literally sat outside my window, and for a day, I could not stop crying because all I wanted to do was go back and play the game because I wanted to win so badly. But that's the thing about baseball. I think more than any other sport, it brings out this almost childlike want to play, to succeed. There's something about baseball. It's just for the love of the game. You play it because you love it. That's the calm, the waiting, the hitting the ball, the pitching the ball while you're at third base, waiting for the ball to get hit to you. It's all these little things. That's what makes baseball great. The little things. And you're a guy who played all the way into high school. I'm a guy who stopped playing in high school because I just never had the talent. But if you ever played the game of baseball, the one thing is when you leave it, it always stays with you.
Yeah.
And I know you have that. I have that. And honestly, if I ever have kids, that's one thing I'd pass down to them, the game of baseball. Because that is one of the things that if I were to say, oh, what is the one thing you wish somebody after you played? I'd say, hey, go play baseball.
Yeah.
I could care. I obviously want you to succeed mentally. Go ahead and be whatever professional thing you want to be, but learn the game of baseball because there's a beauty in baseball, and that's what you have to play. Yeah. So
you have to be physically talented. You have to be mentally talented because like they say, baseball is 90% mental, 10% physical. It's a
Yeah.
It's a thinking game. It's an absolutely thinking game.
You know, that's such a good point. It's an intelligent man's game.
Yeah.
Not to say that people have to be
take
smart.
anything away from any other sport.
No, absolutely not. Right. But what I'm saying is there's a level of finesse. You have to understand what's happening. Like, you know, when you were younger and you first got that playbook and they told you, hey, don't forget the signs, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's just little details that you have to remember when you play ball. And that's the beauty of baseball.
But it's not only that, it's when you're on the field. Like when you got to think, okay, if you're up to bat, let's say you're up to bat and and this is going into high school. This is not so much going into Little League.
Yeah.
But when it's like 3-2, 2-2,
yeah,
you have to start thinking like, hey, what pitch is coming next? Yeah. You have to start thinking that. You have to start thinking, okay, if there's a runner on first, 2 outs or 1 out, where are you going to throw the ball? You have to start thinking that every single thing. And what I loved most about baseball, you're playing outside, you're in the middle of the heat, you're smelling the grass, the dirt.
Yeah.
Like you're running full course. You're wearing a hat. You're wearing pants, unlike any other sport out there. Like, you are wearing pants. They are pants, guys. Like, they are.
yeah.
Like, they're not anything else.
Sweating your ass off.
It is.
Sweating your ass off.
Man, it's a great feeling.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. And there's, like I said, maybe there's one day where we get back in the leagues. I mean, they have leagues up until 40, 50 years old. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Maybe one day.
Yo, once we get into... Because I need to get into the shape I need to get into to play the game a little bit more seriously. Once I get back into where I need to be, I think you and I should play it a little bit, you know, just for fun. We don't have to take it seriously, just for fun. But, okay, before we get into the Hot Corner segment, let your wife know that in like 5 minutes we'll be bringing her up. I just wanted to go briefly into what's been going on in the off-season. I kind of wanted to add this as a section on the wheel, but I forgot because I kind of wanted to keep it to 6. But I really think this is an important segment. Out of all the free agency seasons I've seen, without a doubt, it's not even close. There's something going on in baseball right now where teams are getting scared of giving out the huge contract. And finally they're doing the right thing because it's been coming.
Yeah.
That freaking dilemma of like, hey, we got to stop paying these guys all this money for year upon year is finally coming. The reckoning is coming.
Well, look at your big contracts out there, man.
And you know what? Hayward is he's the start, in my opinion.
Oh, he's $250 million. Like,
dude,
what? It's insane.
Dude,
but I mean, you don't even have to look at it. Look at Jason Worth of the Nationals.
Great example.
Look at, who are some other players there? Giancarlo Stanton did produce for you. That's a big thing.
But it's still not worth that much. See,
no, it's not worth
still
that
a risky
much
contract.
Money. Yeah. And then you give him a no trade clause. Like that's
it's so risky.
You don't do that. Like I'm sorry.
No.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Hot Corner guys about to come in.
Yeah, we're about to come in. Yeah.
Let me have the seat. Yeah. Can you pass me the seat over here behind you, bud?
Okay.
Oh, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're asking me.
No, it's okay. But I agree with you, man. Like the contracts are risky as heck. You gotta start pouring that beer, man. Contracts are risky as heck at this point because, you're giving away a lot of money, especially like in the case of Jason Hayward.
Yeah.
Where you're giving up what 200,
It's like 252 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 250 million over however many years. You're getting paid like 20+ million a year.
For him not to produce.
Right, and that's the inherent risk if you're a baseball team you're taking, and there's no point to it. And you know what? As a baseball fan, I'm kind of happy that we're finally at that point.
Yeah.
Because we needed to get there sooner or later. Because the salaries we've been giving to baseball players are getting ridiculous.
Here's the thing on my thing on off-season.
Like, even Alfonso...
This off-season.
Do you remember Alfonso Soriano?
Yeah, that was a bad move.
Like, the same crap.
Look at Jacoby Ellsbury with the Yankees.
Same crap.
Same thing. Like, you're paying a lot of money for these players that aren't producing after a few years. I, personally, and let me talk prior to this off-season. Personally, I love when you give your number one player, and I'll take it for instance, a Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
Who is a staple, who is like St. Louis Cardinals Mount Rushmore. Mm. You give those players that money.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm not a big fan of is you going and buying a player for $250 million for 7 + 8 years, and then either after the first or second year he just dies off. Yeah. And then you're stuck with the bad contract. Well, I'm a big fan now of this whole. Like a Carlos Santana, 3 years. Yeah. Like, that dude got paid.
How about Albert?
Like, that dude got paid this year. Like, he's a smart guy. Because now you look at Now you're looking at JD Martinez, and he's like, oh, I'm going to hold out to the training.
Oh, yeah.
And you're looking at Jake Arrieta and Yu Darvish, who has not signed anything.
Yeah.
But you look at Carlos Santana. He's like, yeah, give me $3 million at $20 million a year.
And don't forget, like, if JD Martinez was on the market like 3 years ago, he'd be an 8-year, $250 million player. Or
but he didn't produce 3 years ago.
Exactly. But think about like a player like what's his name, Albert Pujols. Like he's a great example of this. Like he first of all, Albert Pujols deserves every accolade he gets. He's one of the greatest of all time. But the Angels made a huge mistake in signing him, and everybody saw it coming.
Yeah,
you saw it coming. I saw it coming. If anybody watched baseball, they knew.
I was glad that the Cardinals got rid of him.
Yeah, but you knew that his career was coming to an end sooner or later.
If he would have stayed with the Cardinals, he still would have had the same production.
Right.
And Cardinals would still be up there with with the Cubs. But I'm glad they got rid of him. Anyway, guys, Hot Corner is where we're at right now.
Introduce a segment. What is the Hot Corner,
Hot Corner is where we will be talking about, or where our wives come in and start talking about certain aspects of baseball. Now, usually when we do the previews or when we're actually talking about real baseball, and I know we just finished talking about off season, but when we're actually talking about players in general, teams in general, our wives will come in. This is my wife, Adriana. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
So this is something that we will bring in. Vlad's wife is not here. She's actually working tonight, unfortunately. But they will come in and they'll give us 2 cents. Now,
segue. They're best friends. So
they are best friends. This is how we
That's
met.
the only reason why we know each other.
Yeah.
I don't actually like this guy.
No, he loves me.
Kind of
don't get me wrong. But
I don't like him. He's kind of a douchebag. But it's fine.
But they will be talking about different aspects of baseball. Mostly ranking hotness of guys.
Which is fun. Mostly.
She is a fan. She started... Okay, so let me give you a little background on her, then I'll let her come in. She really started watching baseball when me and her met. We actually started watching quite a bit. The thing that you guys will hate me the most is I've never actually taken her to a baseball game.
Nope.
Which is something that I will get to.
A professional baseball.
A professional baseball game. We have been to minors. We have been to AAA and AA.
And they're married too. So
yes, we are married. We are going on 2 years of marriage.
That's really shitty.
But I think this year we're actually going.
That's grounds for
divorce. In April, we're going to go see White Sox versus Astros. So we will in Chicago. So that is something that you guys will look forward to in April. So I will be wearing my Cubs jersey.
We'll tape some of that, right?
We'll tape some of that. We'll get some of that. But she started watching baseball with me. She got into the Cubs. She loves the Cubs. Babe, what's your number one guy, hotness guy in the name?
Oh my gosh.
What's his name?
She says Rizzo.
Third baseman.
I swear to God.
Chris.
Chris Bryant.
There you go. That's our number one.
You know what? He's very attractive, and he's a guy that doesn't think he's attractive because there's other players out there
that
know that they're attractive.
If I was Chris Bryant, I'd think I was attractive.
He's not that attractive.
A-Rod's one of them, and you know what? I can't talk. We'll not talk about this. I have to wait till my partner in crime comes in.
But yeah, my wife's got opinions about A-Rod. You gotta relax off that one.
But
that's her boy.
Is just genuinely like a very good-looking man, but he doesn't act like one. He doesn't portray himself to be stuck up or snobby.
She was like, I talked to him a couple times. He's cool.
He's my boy.
But if he's listening by chance,
Chris Bryant, if by chance you listen to this, call us, get us an interview. But
let Drew fawn all over you. Be like, oh, Chris Bryant, I love you, man.
Third baseman, dude. I love third baseman. I don't care how bad you are. If you're a third baseman in the big leagues, you're doing something right.
Adri, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like he said, I'm his wife.
That's very true. I've heard about that.
That's the rumor.
Yeah. And I hope I don't offend anyone that's listening. I mean, I haven't been a baseball fan since I was born, nothing like that. But I do enjoy the game now, I have to say. I'm not the most intelligent person on baseball and players and skills. But I do enjoy the game now, and I do enjoy how good looking they are at times.
And she will be going to major league games this season, guys, just to let you know.
Yay.
We will be going to see some Astro games because that's something I really want to do.
Yo, invite me, bro.
Oh, we're going, bro.
Man. All right, cool.
We're going some Rangers games, and then, of course, we got Chicago coming up here in a couple of weeks.
We have to go to the Stros,
in a couple of months, yes.
We're going to go.
Give respect out there.
We have to go to the Astros and the Rangers. That's what we got to do.
I think Stros have a weekend game on, like, April 10th.
Oh, we should catch a crosstown. Oh, against each other?
No, I think it's Astros against... Actually, I think it may be Astros against
Red Sox. We have to check
I'll check it, but we have to check... We have to check your wife's schedule.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife ruins everything.
All right, babe. So this is your segment.
Yeah.
We bought this beer for you. Maui Bikini Blonde lager. Take a look at it.
Hold on. I'm not even.
Show them the picture, Vlad.
Yeah, there you go. Maui
Can they
Brewing
see it?
Co. Bikini Blonde.
There you go.
Adri, what do you think about this beer?
Actually, I really do enjoy it. As you can see, it's a light beer, and I am a beer drinker, but mainly just the lighter, I guess, lagers. Is that right?
Which is something that I will interject here. Vlad's wife is not a beer drinker.
No.
Dude.
So
She won't be doing these segments.
If we ever hear a beer drinker from one of our wives, this is going to be interesting.
It's Adri. Yeah, go ahead.
But go ahead.
But I did do a little research on this, and actually, the reviews for this beer are not that great. But I actually really enjoy it.
I'm gonna come in on this one. This beer is garbage. It is hot garbage. This beer is so bad. It is one of the worst beers I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
There's-
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Come on, this is
We're
equivalent.
talking
This
worst
is
beer of your
this
life.
is equivalent
Have you ever
to-
had Natty Light? Come on.
okay. Well, that's what I was about to say.
Let's-
Hold on. Let's
okay,
relax.
Okay.
Obviously, you have your 1 to 2 on a 10 grade scale. That's what I'm gonna ask you next. You have your natties, you have your cores, you have your blah 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 blah, and they're all trash. That's my 1 to 2.5. Then I have a 2.5 to 5 scale. This would fit it right in there.
Whoa.
This is garbage. This is hot
Well,
garbage.
Dude, you
What-
would not. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
Okay,
what's
but-
your rate? What's your rate on a 1 to 10 scale?
Wow.
Can you pause it right here? I really gotta go back.
3.
So 1 to 10, I'd have to say maybe at like a 7.5, maybe 8. Well, hear me out. I mean,
This is all personal.
Yeah,
Opinions, guys.
obviously. Okay, so why?
obviously,
Why?
like I said, I do enjoy light beer, and there is a sweetness to it. It's not as sweet, and I do love Bud Light. By the way, I am a Bud Light girl. That's my beer, my go-to beer. I'm a Texas girl. I love it. Anyway, it's not as sweet as Bud Light. There's a hint of sweetness, a little hop, but it's just an all good, nice, crisp, clean taste.
Oh,
I could
nice.
really imagine
No,
myself
you go next.
drinking this at the beach. And
Well, that's not fair. I think let's go on a descending order because I'm gonna give the worst review on this beer.
It's
so.
okay. Go. No, you go ahead.
Okay. So this
Because it's going it's going like to not like to voice a reason. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
This guy right
I'm
here.
waiting.
Okay. All right. So non-voice of reason, I guess, apparently, according to Drew. This beer sucks. It's the holy mother of shit because you put this thing and you start drinking it. It's just fruit. It's like you're drinking a freaking juice. And I can't drink this crap. I can't drink this crap all the time. I give this beer a 2.5 out of 10. It's complete garbage. You know what?
Wow.
You know what? And I thought the Alamo Ale was garbage, and I rated that better than I
No,
did.
I can tell you why you don't like this, but finish.
Because
I will tell you.
it's fruity.
It's too fruity.
It's
for you.
fruity AF.
Vlad likes the punch you in the gut, slap your mama type beers.
Okay, I don't know why he keeps on going with the slap
Slap your
thing.
mama.
It's like, do you
That should be our
you know,
slogan, dude. Slap your mama.
I don't want to do
I
that
don't
because
think so.
yeah, I don't know if people like
I
that.
don't
as
think
much.
it's as fruity. I think you're being a little dramatic.
It is a fruity beer. Out of all the beers we've drank,
Dude,
it is the fruitiest out of all the beers we've
okay,
drank.
can you imagine dude, I could drink maybe, I had my first one and I already, it took me a long time. The last beer we drank in the last podcast, I went through it in seconds. I was like, oh yeah, give me more. This thing, I'm like, I don't know. I want to take my time to it because it's garbage.
It's not, okay, it's not garbage. I'm not, that's your opinion. I respect that opinion.
Drew's got a different opinion.
It's not garbage, but it's not my favorite beer in the world.
What's your rating?
Out of 10,
No, out of 5. No, out of 10.
out of 10, 6.5.
It's
6 to
garbage.
6.5.
It's garbage. And Drew does not give
But
those kind of
here's
numbers.
the thing. I think of Maui. I think of Hawaii.
He's never been to Hawaii.
I've never been to Hawaii.
By the
but
way,
you would
no one
think,
can see you. You're behind
Sorry.
the headphone.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think of Maui. I think of Hawaii.
Mm.
You think tropical.
Oh, no, I get that.
This
I get
is
that.
what this beer is. This is something that if you sit on a beach and you're not getting drunk. Don't get me wrong.
It's actually fair. Yeah.
You're not going to go get plastered on this
No,
beer.
no
Granted, this
chance.
is 5.5% out of volume.
You could.
You could.
I think you could if you had
You
more
could
than
if you
4.
had more
Yeah.
than 4 or 5. But this is not something. This is something that you can sit down at a beach, a nice crystal clear beach, not a Galveston Bay. Sorry, Galveston, but
That hurt. that hurt me.
Like,
I don't even know where the hell that is.
that's
hurt me.
Houston. That's like Houston.
Never been to Houston.
So this is like a tropical beach, a crystal blue green beach. this beer would be
Okay,
fantastic.
can I just ask this from both of you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under what scenario, outside of crystal clear blue beach, would you drink this crap?
I would drink it again. I honestly enjoy it.
Yeah, but what?
It
Like,
has
would you
more
go to?
alcohol
Would you go
than
to?
my actual beer that
But
I
would you
like.
go to
I would
a
not
party?
go to a
would you,
bar.
Would you go to a party? Yeah, a party or a bar?
Yeah.
Would you go and drink this at a party?
If they had, if there was at a party and it was between this and, I don't know. I'm a beer drinker, so I don't really have a. I mean, my worst beer that I've ever tasted was like a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Like,
the beer of Lincoln Park, Chicago.
There you
Ask
go.
Azara.
So,
It's garbage.
like it's. If I had to choose between that and this, of course I'm going to choose this.
Oh, yeah, 'cause-
But like, if it was this and say, I don't know, man. Like, okay, I'll put it this way. Let's say you go to a party. It's outside at a pool, hot outside, crisp. I would drink this beer.
I think it's a good barbecue beer.
I would not get drunk off it
Wait, why a good barbecue beer?
because you're outside.
Because it's like something you'd enjoy on like,
Yeah.
a summer day, especially in Texas when it's
A
like
hot
101
summer day.
degrees outside.
especially if this was like 40, like
You have to understand.
20 degrees. This is good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad. You don't like it because it's fruity.
It's fruity as fuck.
It's too fruity for you.
It doesn't do the thing for me.
But I would say
Okay.
this is a 6.5 to 7 for me. It's good. It's crisp. It's clean.
Clean. Very
But
clean.
6.5 to 7 on our scales. That's pretty bad because we've had some good. We had a good run. We had the
We've had a
Stone
great
Brewing
run.
Company before last week in episode
Yeah.
3, and then the one before that we had Goose Island, which was incredible. And you
Goose
and I
Island,
both agreed.
which-
Your highest rated beer,
Yes.
my second highest rated beer, and partially because Stone Brewery for me is
You're
biased.
biased,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm extremely biased, and probably if I didn't have the bias, I would have said that Goose Island's the best one.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible beer. So I think this one.
But see, I think you're being.
You know what?
I think you're being
fruity
biased
beers.
to this
Fruity
one.
beers. Look, the divide will always come here. If we're gonna talk about like why I'll always rate beer lower, it'll be because if things are too sweet, I'm not gonna rate it
Yeah,
high. That's
you
not my
are.
thing. Drew has more. He can handle more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Adri can too. I don't know about Adri. I don't know what's going on with her.
We're beer drinkers, like we said. Me and my wife are beer
Yeah,
drinkers.
that is very true. That is very true. They actually like beer. Both
I
of
love
them.
beer.
Yeah.
Love beer.
They drink
So-
beer all the time. We go out. You
Yeah.
guys always drink beer.
I'd always drink beer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my freaking scotch and whiskeys, but Vlad's more of a liquor guy. His wife is a wine person.
No one knows what the hell my wife is.
Hey, she's wine.
She's wine.
not. That's not what she
Well,
is.
I mean,
wine.
she's a
She's
cucumber
Yeah,
martini.
she's a
She
cucumber
can be
martini.
the
Yeah.
cucumber
How do you
martini.
rate that? What is
Don't
that?
touch the cucumber
That's
martinis.
no,
Those
the
are
cucumber.
very
I mean,
good.
don't get me wrong. Cucumber martinis are good, but
Just like, is it very good?
it's they're not. You're not. I mean, you like strong beers.
I do.
You love strong beers
Because I like liquor.
Exactly. So, you for this one, I could tell that when I tasted this one, I was like, Vlad's not gonna like this.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Literally, the first sip I took, I was like, this is garbage.
It's too fruity.
Yeah, it's like,
But
it's
if
drinking
you
juice.
like fresh, crisp,
Yeah.
very light beers, this is a good beer. But like we said, 5 or 6 beers will get you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like this is.
So, what do we got? 7.5?
I'm at a 7.5.
I'm a
really like it.
6.5 point to 7. 6.5.
2.5.
Okay.
So, I've obviously thrown the curve a little bit out of the water. Just write that down.
I am because I need to put this on Instagram.
Okay, so guys, obviously you now know our opinions. Thank you for listening. It's been a hell of a podcast. Again, like we said earlier, we're going to be doing the Wheel of Baseball once a month. Our next episode, Drew, what are we doing? The NL East, right?
NL East will be,
Yeah.
and that will be about 2 weeks. Just to let you know.
Well, you won't know that because next week we'll be publishing this one.
That's true.
So for them, it'll be a week after this one. So we're in a good place. NL East preview. We hope at that point that we'll actually, because my wife will have the weekend off, so we'll finally be able to give you guys the full hot corner,
Yeah.
which will include Adriana and my wife Azara, and both of them. I don't know what the heck they're going to talk about, but we'll figure it out. I
We'll
mean,
figure something out.
is it too early to do hotness ratings? Is that a weird
No,
topic?
they can talk
I don't
about
think
it.
you can do hotness readings anytime. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Yeah, but
anytime.
once you use hotness ratings once, you can't use it again.
Yeah.
Why? We can have like a hot.
No,
We
we
can compare-
can have them research hotness in the NL East.
Oh, like specific to the.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm kind of thinking every baseball team. So I don't.
Well, there you go. Every baseball team. There you go.
Ooh, okay, I like
They
that.
can do
So,
Some things
so,
are coming.
So yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, well, Drew, you're literally, you know what you look like? You look like a mic. You keep on hiding behind a mic, bro. Like that's what you've been doing for like the last 2 episodes. Not last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, guys, please rate us, subscribe. Go to cheapseatspodcast.libsyn, LIBSYN.com.
Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
Those are our social media pages. And then take a look at SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Google
We have
Play.
Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, TuneIn, then Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have everything, guys. I mean, there are a couple of podcast stations that we can go on to, and we'll probably do it in the future. For now, we're obviously not doing it. Again, we're working on our website, guys, so keep in touch with that. We'll let you guys know when it comes out.
But for now, email your questions and your concerns, comments.
You won't be concerned.
Yeah, you won't be concerned. We're good.
There's nothing to be concerned
just
about.
Comments and questions, cheapseatguys@gmail.com.
As always, guys, we reviewed this beer.
Well, I didn't like it, but he's dumb.
This juice drink. We reviewed
It's
it.
not juice. Wow.
We reviewed this very.
This juice box of a drink.
We reviewed this high C. It's very, very good juice. Anyway,
Anyway, guys,
cheers
from
the cheap seats.